There are our beautiful faces, and now it's time for me to read out the following. You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Harry.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of the 17th to the 23rd, I want to say, of April.
Yes.
2022, with the exceptions of the thing we'll talk about at the start of this episode and the thing we'll talk about at the end of the episode. And we're going to start in the past. We have Tiger and Bunny 2, episode 3. We are talking Suspicion will raise bogies. Yes.
Yeah. Lost in translation.
A golfing episode here as well. No.
Well, I looked ahead on all of the episode titles. They're just like kind of trite, well-worn, kind of like wise words. Not so far as a stitch in time saves 9, but in that kind of vein.
Like just general advice. Yeah.
Yes. So in this, it is prime sitcom plot development, but with sinister reasons as to why Ryan is the way he is. So the plot is that Rose has been invited by a fan who's ill to meet her. But in the letter, they also mentioned that their second favourite hero was Wild Tiger, so she has the idea, and also because it gives her an excuse to hang out with him, to bring him along to meet this girl as well. Golden Ryan,
he's upset because he's been told by his publisher, he's like, you don't get as much fan mail as Barnaby. What's up with that? And he's like, well, I should go meet the fan.
Get some.
It's a sick kid. Of course he's gonna come. He's like, oh, that's a fantastic idea. I'll kind of come in late. It's like, oh, I brought my friend. I'll be great. But if you listen to that conversation from a slight distance, you might pick it up wrong.
If you listen to it again while you're in the gym and Rock Bison's meaty thighs are obscured like every couple of words, so you get the wrong end of it, then even more so.
Yeah.
So it's the classic sitcom mix-up on Ryan's part. He's convinced that she's going to leave him and join with Wild Tiger, and so therefore he needs to go and get Barnaby mad at this as well.
He keeps doing this. He just won 3 times in a row for saying, Barnaby, hate to be the person to say this to you, but
yeah. He's basically saying to Barnaby, it's like, hey, your boyfriend's breaking up with me for my girlfriend, so we should team up. Basically, is what I'm saying. And Barnaby's like, I don't think that's true. It's like, no, I've been stalking them. Here's the evidence I've collected. It's like, dude, that's a bunch of crimes.
He's going for Barnaby. Just look what's right in front of your eyes. You know, if you just listen to every second word, they're totally going to break up with us. You know, don't forget context. You know, this is what they said.
I think my favorite bit of his video footage from the gym is there's parts of it where it's cut out. And they're saying that we're going to be my part that I'm going to play in it. And they keep hearing that bit gets cut off by Rock Bison's grunts as he's working the machine. And it's like, my part, it's like they're saying they're going to make each other their partners. I see what they're doing.
They totally said that. They totally were about to say that. I know they were.
Yeah, and there's several bits where you catch every third word in between grunts. Where he's really pulling the reps. Where you can't even make out. He kind of says to Barnaby, he's just like, you see, it's all pretty clear now, isn't it? And it's just like, I got nothing from that. What are you talking
about? But when our 2 favourite hero killers, Fugan and Mugen, we check in on them as they're having a discussion of their amazing skit they're going to do before they beat up these superheroes.
It's the bit that the villain comes in and says a cool one-liner and then does a cool thing like murder all the superheroes.
Yes. So after explaining this, I still don't know which one's which. One of them agrees that this is a great plan. As soon as they see the heroes, just flies in at them and tells them to prepare themselves to be killed.
Yeah, I mean, that was the part you were supposed to say after we're your biggest fans and shit. It's like he jumped right to to the cool one-liner they were going to say. It's like, no, we got to set it up. Ah, never mind. You've already killed him. Oh well.
Yeah, timing is everything in comedy. So work on that would be all set.
But that's I think that's the city where your man used to work as well.
Yes, because when our other Sternbield heroes are discussing this, because Magic Cat's worried about this, and yeah, they're all very concerned. But then they mention that that's where Ryan used to be a hero, and we get like a little bit of a story about how he started off as a hero in Sternbield, but then in this country, all the heroes just work for one man, and he was offered a chance to go and work there, but then he ran foul of a guy who I'm sure we're going to meet again because we only see him in shadow in this episode, Gregory Sunshine.
With a name like that, you know, it's going to be like arch villain in the whole lot. It gotta be.
Or just a jerk, yeah.
Yeah.
Just not a ray of sunshine as a person, yeah.
He has the ability to make Nexts lose control of their powers, and he did this to Golden Ryan, which caused what did they describe it as?
Like a building collapses on him.
A grain silo?
Yeah.
Like...
it collapses on top of him, and then the three heroes of this town did not help him at all. In fact, they looked like a bunch of jerks as they went past.
They saw him as a rival rather than a fellow hero.
Yes.
They looked like all the dudes from Urusei Yatsura, or was fucking whining about being single and why he's got a hot girlfriend. It's like them dressed up as superheroes, and equally as kind of shitty like charity shop kind of fucking costumes as well.
Yeah.
So. And as Ryan was pointed out at the start of the episode, he's not overbearing. He's not paranoid or anything. He's sensitive. All right. So he was sensitive to being betrayed by these guys, and they didn't help him.
Everyone's out to get me.
Yeah.
And now he thinks it's happening to him again.
Well, Barnaby, let's blow this joint. It's just you and me, pal, against the world.
But it turns out that this sick girl does not exist. It is, in fact, the guy who stole the outfits in Series 1.
That creep.
Her biggest fan, who just wants to hug her. That's all he wants to do. But he's caught by Wild Tiger. We see him like practicing his invisibility because I'd forgotten that he can't breathe while he's invisible.
Yeah, I can turn invisible while I'm holding my breath. Is the superhuman ability, which isn't great, but get some sitcom antics where he's trying to hold his breath behind Blue Rose and that kind of thing. Wild Tiger comes in and is like, "Hey, when's my cue?" So it's like, "Hey, it's that fucking creepo."
Yeah.
But it's fortunate that the other stalkers happened to arrive because they were stalking outside of this booked restaurant. Actually, no, it was a broken into restaurant, wasn't it? Where he's kind of like, yeah, I know you want to be pals with Wild Tiger. I know you're at a press conference right now. Hey, who's this guy? It's like, hey, he's turned invisible. Can you use your gravity powers to squash invisible people? Yes, I can. So it all works out.
Yep. The truth is out. They're all friends again. Hip hip hooray.
Or a valuable lesson about not too many conclusions.
Yeah, and trust in your partner and that kind of thing. And I did like kind of the Wild Tiger turning back the your man's thing earlier, where he was just like, oh, if you look at someone's eyes, you can see if they're telling the truth. And he's looking at Barnaby. He's like, you didn't actually think I was going to leave you, buddy, did you? And he's like, no, I didn't. And he's like, looking at his eyes.
Lost in those pools of emeralds.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to. Oh, the other thing to note is that Mr. Black is worried that his former teammates are going to be the next targets of these next killers.
Yeah, because they're getting close to the town where he's from, basically, as they're working their way through these different superhero prefectures, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's a point because he thinks that although it might be like next prejudice, but they're clearly just going after heroes, not after other people who've got next powers.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we know that they're Ouroboros. Now, why they're childlike and doing this particularly, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, like as a very silly sitcom setup goes, it's just like, yeah, this is pretty good fun.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get the other second string heroes showing up at some point. The ones who Tiger was demoted to teaming up with in the first series.
Oh yeah.
He really had to climb his way back up to the top. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, but it's a fine episode. It's an episode of Tiger and Bunny. It does exactly the sort of thing you want Tiger and Bunny to do. The question is it going to do it too much? Is it 12 episodes or 13 episodes for this one?
They're 12.
I can't remember, yeah.
Yeah,
12,
it's like
yeah.
half the length. So yeah, maybe don't do too many of those episodes. But I don't want it to be a series where the main plot happens in the last 4 episodes.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just we have a bunch of sitcom setups we haven't done yet. Can we do those?
Could be. Then on to the things that came out this week. It is Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story, Episode 3, a match between just the two of us, in which they play golf for the entire episode.
We do cut back to the whole thing of not only they say it's like underground golf. That's what what's her boss called, Rose or something.
Yes.
That's what her boss involved in. Underground golfers like us play golf like this. And they had to beg permission from the higher up boss to like get her into the under 15s tournament.
Yes. For some kind of unspecified earlier offer. And what does that mean?
And I was like, it's absolutely match fixing. And based off the end of the episode, maybe?
Yes.
I don't know.
It could be a super rare Gundam model.
It could be.
Yeah, I was like, is she a Lady Kiryu or a Lady Majima? And I think it's confirmed she's a Lady Majima by the end of the episode when she does that quick frame of her posing when the ball first go in the pot. It was much more of Majima energy than the Kiryu energy.
So it kind of cuts between the underground golf side of things and also the elite school for young ladies who play golf thing, where they're all excited to see their alumni. Is it Aoi do quite well in the tournament?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And obviously the two girls basically they're playing golf together, but they're not playing beside each other. They're like a few holes ahead of each other, but they're keeping track of each other's game to go like, yeah, we're basically pretending that we're playing right beside each other.
A complicated system of signaling, you know, always
the secret
always
hamburger fucking
pal.
yeah.
Here, have a burger. You look hungry. It's like, yeah, she's that far ahead.
I thought it was going to be like, you got to throw it in the 5th or something like that. It's just like, no, it's just her current score as to what hole she's on, that kind of thing. Which is a very funny way of doing it, the secret hand signals. And can they not just like look it up on their phone or something? I don't know. It seems very simple. Even the kids in the restaurant like just look. It's like, where is she? I haven't seen her all day. It's like, yeah, she's playing golf. Look, it's on YouTube. It's like, oh fuck.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a limit that kind of thing to prevent cheating or.
Yeah, you're probably right. Honestly, yeah.
Or anything to do with gambling, you know, is probably will come up.
Match fixing. Yeah. You're probably right.
It's probably pretty dumb actually to find a second open. And it's this layer of mystique to the sport of golf, which is apparently the only sport that exists in this strange future present.
Yeah, there's also the preview for the next episode suggests all sorts of high technology involved in, which makes me wonder did she miss because somehow they robotically tipped the green so that
yeah, because it does appear to be some kind of like I can't remember, not like a holodeck, but it's some sci-fi thing where like the shape of it, like, is it the Danger Room did that first? I can't remember, something like that, but as a golf course.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering, is he going to pull out and reveal that they're in space at some point? That they're on a space, they've been on a space station all along.
That would be amazing, yeah. Wow, golfing really is hard here on Pluto. Yeah.
Universal Golf Century 0079.
Yeah, just become the full giant robot golf anime.
Oh man, I'm seeing all the fun signs here. Like we have like the reappearance of like the fun ponytailed blonde girl from like the super rich school who was not gonna do any of this. Like this is a disgrace to golf. But then seeing this goddamn Eve, she's just fucking with her brazen golfing style. She's fun. Just launching this thing on every hole, but it's working out every time. It's just like she's just like the pilot who encounters like the hero like really early on and gets beaten back, and then they get obsessed with trying to best them, that stooping to any means necessary. And then they find, oh, you've lost your way. You've let your golf fall into disrepute. And saying, I had to do it. To get a better review, but it's still never enough.
I did like her reaction. It was like, her golfing is pathetic. She can only shoot in straight lines and she can't do curves like my mistress and that kind of shit. And she's going for the same shot she did the other day in her match. That's dumb. It's like, but she's already destroyed the branches yesterday, so that going exactly the same way is the perfect strategy.
Like it's certainly like very much like the Sunrise mecha anime veneer to it. But another Sunrise anime that does remind me a lot of, and that's City Hunter.
Is it the underground stuff is kind of making you think that, or
just the way that Evis is, when all you've got is a driver, every problem seems to look like a golf ball. And
okay,
that's your go-to solution for anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because Rose goes into like how she's not the best golfer, but because she's an underground golfer, she takes risks. And then there's the chance that the person she's playing at will try and also take risks, but because they're not a gambler.
They're not used to taking a risk with every shot, so they'll fuck up. And the person who plays it, the opposite side is the person who plays at their own pace, who then falls behind, and then they start taking stupid risks.
Boom, and you're bunker town.
Yeah. You need to take a risk with every fucking shot. That's underground golf.
This is a game to all of you, but for me, this is my life. This is my survival.
Yeah, but you also get the impression by the end of the episode is that Eve hasn't done many full games of golf because she's
hasn't done a
full. Her stamina's wearing.
Knackered. Yeah.
Well, she does tend to destroy them immediately, like she did with the two other girls she was playing with. So that ruined their morale, which meant that her stamina waning didn't really affect her game.
No, and
if she's just launching it every time as well, that's kind of what you want. I mean, even for a putt, she has the green bullet. It's like a super intense putting motion.
It always hits the flag as hard as possible. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's
really good. The music is doing hard work as well. They can't get that motion as well because it's very much like the triumphant like action hero march, except it's golf.
Dude.
Next week we get Viper, the lady with vampire fangs.
Fantastic.
Oh, you got to run your tongue along the putter. You got to do it. Otherwise, this is all fake. It's not worth it.
Dear.
Righty-ho, then we've got next on the list is your boy Komei, episode 4, Komei Lights the Way. As we're introduced to, he's a big deal in the festival circuit. Was he Kondo?
It's Mr. Big.
I think his name is. And I think he doesn't speak Japanese because he uses a translator.
Either he doesn't speak Japanese or he's very shy, and neither of those things is the case, as it turns out.
Very impressed with Aiko and wants to offer her a chance at one of his other festivals.
I was very impressed with his translator, like putting on like a deeper voice anytime she was saying is what he said. It's like, "Hi, I think you're very impressive. I'm a big fan of your work." Is what he just told me there, what he whispered into my ear. It's just like she kept changing her intonation, which was very funny. Yeah.
And then he drinks 2 shots of whiskey and puts 2 business cards, one in each shot glass. And she can pick, here's a festival which is very similar size to the one you just performed at. Or here's one...
You'll be main stage in that one.
Yeah, and here's one where there's 300,000 people coming. Which one do you want to pick? And she's like, I want the one with 300,000. He said, but there's a catch. Or the translator says there's a catch. You've got to complete the 100,000 like challenge. And only one band in 5 years has ever managed to do that.
It's destroyed a boy band. It's killed an idol's career when she went full furry. It's like this is not a good idea.
But she's confident in Komei, so she's gonna take it. Then she's like, Komei, what have you got planned for us to break this? And he goes, well, it's going to be very difficult. I haven't got anything planned yet. And then she
I'm still gonna do it. It's just gonna be difficult, all right? Relax. I'm on it.
But your man Kondo's pressed that she takes it though, and he declares that I have a crush on Aiko in English, and then speaks perfectly fluent Japanese after that. And they're like, what? You could speak Japanese all the time.
Aha.
And then the rest of the episode is Komei going about his plot, but not telling Aiko.
It seems to be Komei skiving off work, basically.
Details,
yeah.
Yes.
He's not skiving off work.
No,
he's
you're right. He is working at the bar, but he is spending seemingly no time planning and being a strategist and stuff.
Yes.
He's just hitting up all the early doors places, and this funny, and he's getting a rep. He's coming to the radio and saying, "Hey, it's fucking Komei. This guy's great crack. Come on, man, we're heading off this one 6 a.m. rave. Let's go. Fun. Sounds delightful. Please lead the way." The
closest he's given her as to a plan is he needs to add a rapper to their ensemble, but that's about all he's told her.
But that is what he's doing. He's networking.
He's getting to know the scene. He's getting to know the people on the ground. Yeah.
In Roppongi.
And I was just like, oh, I'm really getting going on this, just going through the old socials here. Like, I'm really getting one more than a couple of hundred on my best days.
Because herself and the club manager are both like rubbing their temples in the same way. It's like, how the fuck do you get it? Like 100,000 likes, or most likes is like 1,000 and something, and it's just a picture of cats.
Yes, I did like that.
Well, I better get practicing then. I better if I can start getting a few demos out, getting ready, building up a repertoire or something. We wish Komei, give me an advice maybe. So let's listen to some of this so it doesn't if I'm going the right direction. We're off partying again. It's like, you and me are going to go out tonight. And say, what? To me, we do it. It's important to relax as well. And this is for research. For research as part of the plan.
I'll explain my plan later, eventually, at some stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we see the viewer sees that he has enlisted the help of various side characters who we've met along the way. There's, I guess, an influencer who's constantly taking. He dresses like a jockey, wanders around town with a selfie stick. There's the Aiko's fan, who is the computer expert. I don't think he's uttered a line yet, but we see him acting.
He made a sound effect in the background this time, so that's more than he's done so far.
I think we've already seen the rapper that he's going to hire in a crowd scene.
It was the guy who is suddenly back on the scene, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, that's the DJ who's the guy back on the scene.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
I think it's the guy with the long hair who we see walking on the street when we see him chatting with the selfie stick dude. I think that's the guy in the character designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know why he needs a rapper yet, and how this is going to get them all those likes. But he has made a load of friends in Roppongi, we see, and also we get an instruction on how to have a good night out in Roppongi without spending too much money. That's the other educational part of the episode.
Number one, find when the drinks is like, the happy hour.
Get your happy hours in. Yeah.
Getting good with the fucking bouncer. That's also great advice. I like the way Komei had like the cool guy handshake with him. And
Rude as shit.
And she kind of struggled. Is like, hey, is Komei your boyfriend? He's like, no, he's my manager, producer. What the fuck is he to me? And Komei's like right there. It's like, dude, I'm your strategist. What are you doing? Yeah, exactly.
I got the business cards printed up just last week. Oh, I can't do that back. I'm a tactician,
And once both of them are well sloshed, she finally reveals what her real dream is to play at the biggest EDM festival, whose name I've forgotten now. So that's our target.
It's in the Netherlands.
Yes. That's where we're going to. Not much else. It's pretty much all that. It's a lot of Kobe acting suspicious in her eyes, but not necessarily in the viewer's eyes.
Well, he's closing in on his man, and he thought as well. I'm sorry, I didn't want to worry you. I thought it was good if you focused on your music, which you did, as well. Mostly out of worry, but I didn't mean to do that. And a nice touch I thought was the end credit song. Just like, I was thrashed up after yesterday. Actually, no, I wanted to listen to it and double checking. And then it just kind of plays it out over the end credits, but it's just coming out of the phone speakers, so it's
a little more tinny, and obviously it's just her recording it on her phone. And the other thing is, like, a lot of it is halfway between just the shot of the play bar going up on the little demo tape that she's made, and then it kind of cuts to like a cityscape of where they just were Roppongi, and showing the Big Dipper and Kome's prediction as to something wonderful is going to happen tonight, that kind of thing. Which was, in fact, the song that he heard then. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of like setup stuff and a lot of, I guess, like through cartoon tourism, that kind of way. To make it feel like a living, breathing scene, which actually does exist. Yeah.
Yeah. There are so many anime out there that are like about, it's about this kind of hobby, this kind of sport. This is what people kind of do in it. A lot of people do this a lot of time as well, and there's like a very kind of nuanced and varied world within that as well. So it's kind of fun to see something like this. And he's holding on to those novelty shades. He's actually wearing those. That's kind of it's not even now like the whole like around 3 kids get up now. It's more, this has to do with the cool shades. I love that guy. That's behind me there, actually. Here he is.
Then we're going to be talking about The Demon Girl Next Door 2, Episode 3, The Dark Witch Returns, with Steam from Hell. So first half of the episode is Momo installs internet. And
that sounds like it would be very boring, but when one character does not know what an internet is, it becomes amusing. Yeah.
Yeah, she thought there'd only be 50 people on the internet, so she's very surprised when there's a lot more.
This will be easy. This will take me 2 days to find her. Oh crap! What's their fake Twitter called again?
Chatter.
Chit chatter.
Oh,
that's very
yes,
good.
That's it. Yeah. So there's that. And then the second half is Lilith possesses Yuko's body to go to the health spa. With permission. And goes with Momo to the health spa. And
to ostensibly improve their relationship, their working relationship, I guess.
Also seems to indicate that this is somehow necessary to Lilith's health, occasionally going to a health spa. She's very desperate to get in the hot springs, but that turns out to be the reason she's desperate to get in the hot springs because she thinks that Momo is a never nude, and she wants to tease her about her fear of getting naked. But it turns out it'd be her who's getting the teasing, as there is a power cut, and Momo discovers that Lilith is afraid of the dark, despite being in charge of the night.
Despite being Queen of Darkness, she's scared of the dark. Yeah.
And so eventually they do bath together, and Lilith is like, "Well, Momo's so nice, and she was so nice to me when I was scared of the dark. I'm not going to reveal
that she has scars from battle, which she doesn't seem embarrassed about it at all. It's like it's not really a weakness of her she's discovered. She's like, I got a few scars. I've been in fights.
Yeah, she just points out that it's easier to change clothes using magic than taking them off manually.
But Momo has used this to gather dirt on Lilith and has recorded her feared, I'm scared of the dark, please help me. So it's like, if you fucking try any shit with me again, I'm not going to throw you. I'm going to fucking leak this shit on the internet. You know how bad that'll be for your rep.
And then the final joke is the mum drowning Lilith's statue because Lilith had all these fancy clothes to wear to the health spa. It's
pay later. That's basically free money. Right? That's how that works. I think that's how that works.
I can't remember what their fake Amazon was called. They've got a fake Amazon in that as well.
Yeah, it's not in the Amazon again, I think.
Did that tie into the internet bit? clearly. I guess it must have been.
I think because they had
Yeah.
access to Amazon all of a sudden.
Yeah,
probably.
that was part of it. Yeah, it carries on being a very high standard throughout. Yeah, probably slightly the horniest it's been.
It obscures like everything, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was more thinking Lilith washing her statue was the most suggestive thing I think I remember seeing in this show.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, nothing too eyebrow raising. Then we've got I'm KODAMA KAWASHIRI, episode 12, How to Eat Packed Sushi, in which she teaches you how to eat packed sushi.
Just a shitload of soy, basically. That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's dipping the rice in the soy sauce as well. You could disintegrate the whole form of it that way. But that's just the way she plays.
And as with everything that she does, you got to knock it back with a beer. Just
yeah.
At this stage.
And then instructions on how to chew expensive scallops.
Expand 5 times their size? That sounds unpleasant.
And I say instructions, it's just 30 seconds of her chewing.
But there's a visual of it getting bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like the bit of like the orange that you just can get caught between your teeth and you can't quite get out of there.
Right, that's that. That's that business taken care of.
It keeps on going.
Then tell me all about Kaguya-sama, Love is War, episode 3, Nagisa Kashiwagi wants to kill, Maki Shijo wants to take action, Miyuki Shirogane wants to be believed.
I'm trying to divvy these up now because they kind of like lead into each other.
Yeah, because they do lead in. This is another like recurring joke. So we have here like kind of like the ideal, better adjusted high school couple. They're so perfect for each other because both of these have come, each to Kaguya or to Shirogane, asking for advice on how to ask the other one out. So going to the 2 worst people possible for that kind of advice.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
I don't think any of them are particularly good at this. Yeah.
Nonetheless, they somehow found each other, so they're good for them.
But yeah, she's come to the 2 boys today because she's pretty sure her boyfriend's cheating on her with a friend of theirs, and she needs to find out which of these I need to murder. Which one do you think? Whose fault is it most that I could kill them? And they're like, are you sure? It's just like, well, they were hanging out. And they were chatting in the corridor. I mean, that's grounds for it, right?
It's just gauging, like, what does
constitutes cheating? Yeah.
What does Kaguya I see as cheating, and what does fucking Ino who's a bit more well-adjusted to consider what it is? So just like
So a girl talking to a boy by Kaguya standards is absolutely cheating. You cannot associate with members of the opposite sex. That's impossible. Once you're going out with someone. But your one's like, I thought they're probably just talking about like schoolwork, or they might be mates or something. But what's the thing that turns her as like, they're absolutely
they're true, like, well, maybe it's maybe it's fine. I just could be asked, but this one said, and I saw them go doing karaoke together. And as Kaguya knows, karaoke is just for sex acts happen when there's just 2 people having unspeakable things happening behind closed doors. It's just then going, wait a minute, am I the crazy one here? I don't know. I thought Kaguya was a little bit, but maybe I'm the one who's in the wrong here. I don't get it. But it turns out it was all fine. It was always going to be something like planning your birthday or some shit. It's like, no, you got like a little like a heart necklace. Oh, how
it's
cute.
like, hey, you're a girl who is her friend. Can you tell me what girls like? We'll go out shopping for a thing together for our anniversary. And the guys are like, that's so romantic. The girls are like, fucking heart necklace. Fucking that's a bit trite, isn't it? But she's delighted with it, and probably delighted that he wasn't cheating on her. And they make out in the corridor that's heavily censored.
Yeah, so the school like, whoa, there's a lot of tongue going on there. It's very slobbery teenage kissing, and like the sound design there, yeah, pretty intense.
To make it more emphasize the extremeness of these horny teenagers seeing a horny thing happen and going like, I don't know how to feel anymore.
The kicker of this is that the friend who was out shopping with the boyfriend, Maki Shijo here, actually like, I'm cool with this. Isn't like I actually like the boy. I would be a better match for him altogether. So she's just venting as well to like.
So she was trying to break them up, but through helping him buy a gift for his girlfriend. But her talking to the two guys is kind of like she doesn't want to admit because she's like, I'm of a noble family. I'm really important. I'm like second cousins twice removed from Kaguya or something.
Kaguya.
And they're like, that's not that important. That's really down the totem pole.
Yeah. But they're alike in many regards then as well. Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically her like every now stating like maybe 5 or 6 times that no way would she want to be with a gross little commoner like that guy. And then it's like, but you want to be with him though, right? And then the 6th time going like, yeah,
I suppose.
Just kind of slightly admitting it every now and again.
It's just saying the most like fun thing that seems fun. Saying you pair of fucking idiots. Fun. You gotta get me upon good advice. No fun. It's just that I don't want to wind up alone. Okay, fun. She's doing the cute eyes at me like that, and it's very disarming. She's fucking. I should be really pissed off at her, but there's just something about her. That,
she's playing it very hot and cold. Yeah.
Where have I seen this before? It's like, I see your cousins.
And at one point he has to admit, it's like, yeah, no, you're cute. You could probably get a boyfriend. And when Kaguya comes in, she's like, hey, auntie, how's it going? My aunt, my old aunt. And it's like, I mean, technically that's true, but don't fucking call me that. Like, I'm your schoolmate and shit. And it's just like, no, I have to be respectful, auntie, respectful of my elders, auntie. And it's like, oh, by the way, that guy said I was cute. All right, peace out. And he's like, I can't admit that I said she was cute because she reminds me of her auntie because I have the hots for her auntie. So it's worked out for her because these two guys have admitted to helping her break up this couple from the first part. Kind of.
I think we'll be seeing her progress with that in the very near future.
How that goes, yeah. What
was
part 3?
Our third sketch is it's much more like it's like classic Kaguya-Sama lovers.
Oh, they're playing the dating game, the 10 yen game. Yeah.
So it's just like sure guys, it's like look, this goes with like one of those mixture things. Yeah, you might have seen me or might have heard that I went out of the room with a girl before. Most time we're just like doing karaoke and just playing party games. I promise. If I'm saying, oh, I really interesting, says Fujiwara. Well, let's play one right now. Boom, we'll play a 10 yen game. So it's kind of like never have I ever kind of a job. Where you get like a 10 yen coin is just heads is yes and tails is no if whatever question is asked. You kind of slide it under like a tea towel and then it's like whoosh. So 5 people here say they actually have a crush on somebody. That kind of a way.
Yeah. You don't know who has answered, but you do know like how many of the group has admitted to whatever the question has been asked.
Yeah.
So you got the 2 insecure people going like, do people really like me?
Yeah. So it comes off and saying, one person likes you, nobody likes you. I don't know. But I can't go and say, oh, who has a crush on Kaguya? And say, and just like it was all anonymous, so there's no way we can actually tell it from saying in the Kaguya. It's like gotcha. So on a table we have a 10 yen coin from 1989, 1991, 92, 1990s, and one 1992. I know
counting coins basically.
And I know the 1989 coin belongs to Shirogane, so whichever one comes up, I would know his answer. So he thinks it's anonymous, but I'm going to say, put a watcher. Oh, I didn't think anyone would have a crush on me unless someone does. No, it's just for funsies to say someone has a crush on me.
They do, as an extra bit, and as they point out, this might be criminal. They do have a lie detector test in the room as well, just in case. So it's not like I could just lie about this coin and like no one will know. It's like, no, they have a what's the one with the
polygraph?
Polygraph. They have a polygraph test in the fucking classroom for some fucking reason. Make it extreme, yeah.
So just got them on there for saying, yes, put your slider coin right under there. Got you right, Mike, just remove the tea towel and saying, there's another coin from 1991 in there. Where did 1989 go to? That doesn't make any sense. And then fun. Little Akagi, Shirogane anticipated this, and they kept extra 10 yen coins in his pocket and have been using different ones each round.
Yeah, so he's switching up the coins so they're not consistent, so she can't keep track of it. But he turns it back on her and is like, all right, someone here is counting coins. admit yes or no, and it's like, okay, they all have to go for it. But then 3 of them were counting coins, so it doesn't really make a difference anyway.
Yes.
Well.
This just got like that classic ones that everyone had. Again, it's all in direction, the setting of the scenes,
Exactly.
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
up on crazy
The
angle.
extreme mind games kind of thing. Yeah.
You've got looming over a distant one. I got you like in the palm of my hand, like a coin. It's just like just getting slammed down with all the force fun, saying, "Now tell the truth, or be exposed as a liar you are." Yes, more solid stuff, and it's looping in even more of these external characters, but we had the return of like the ideal like couple there, but now they've like towed someone else, brought someone else into this orbit now as well.
So it becomes like a weird triangle. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to bounce them off. And again, we landed with the people who should not be getting this kind of advice from. So alongside this dysfunctional high school romances, it's like how Norm running in parallel as a test case for how where you should probably be right about now, or how you're tracking this. This is why Hayasaka the butler is worried about you, because this is how normal teenage relationships should kind of be at by now. But never mind.
Right, then we've got Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai, episode 74, Return of the Great Hero, in which everybody wants to know, Avon, where you been? Why weren't you here helping us if you were alive all this time?
I'll explain later.
Yes.
I'll explain later.
Why don't you run along now to the Dark King's castle, and I will be right behind you.
Well, he explains how he survived, because the blow was blocked by the Amulet of Karl, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it was. It basically took the hit for him and got heavily damaged for it, because it's that kind of magical item. But he did end up in the ocean shirtless.
Yes.
But they're all like, yeah, but why didn't you like meet up with us in the meantime? We've been adventuring for like a while.
Just some this and that.
Yeah.
He literally does say shut up.
He says shut up to Pop. And then he tells them to
shut up,
run. Because he's also been noticing in the corner of his eye that Kilvern is very much not dead. And he's using some sort of shadow.
For his side. Yeah.
I
don't know what Kilvern's deal is, but part of me makes me think either, right, that little imp is actually the real Kilvern, and he's puppeting him, or there's a little guy in Kilvern like piloting him from the head or something like that.
There's something up like that.
Yes,
yeah.
I think you're right, Dwayne, on the first point, because I think what he wants when he gets the mask sliced, I think he doesn't want Avon to see that there's nothing inside.
Yeah,
that he is a puppet. Yeah, and because the whole the only part of him that's expressive is really his eyes.
Yeah. I think it's the little guy animating the armor with a magic shadow.
Yes. Yeah.
Think of when they appear in the opening. It was always Kilburn.
Oh, the little guy's putting on his hat.
He's like fun saying, nothing to see here, and it's a little imp man. Nope.
I'm just
the
a
main
little
man
parrot
in
that
charge
sits on his shoulder. Ignore me. That kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so he sends them off to run, and then Kilvern gets up and he's got his scythe to his throat, to which Avon says, I already shaved today. I'm fine, thanks.
And it's like, I'm going to fucking kill you now and then kill them there. And it's like, well, if I keep you here, you can't activate the other traps in your deck of traps, can you? And he's like, shit, actually, fuck, you're right. I should probably catch up to them. I should kill you and catch up to them. Wait a minute, I'm frozen. When did you pin me with a magic feather? Before you got up, because I saw you were going to get up, so now you're fucked.
You missed half your face now.
Chop your mask in half. Yeah.
That makes Kilvern actually kind of emote for the first time.
Emote besides like, I'm generally a jolly fellow who's looking forward to your death. It's like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get you. Yeah,
he's fun. Well, he's always backup plans exposed now. It's like fun thing now. Well, now I have no like backup plans. I can just kind of like gloat condescendingly to you now, like, but
yeah.
I mean, I was ready. I thought I had you. We had the champers out. We were ready to go, but you fucked it up. You fucked it up. I'm really pissed off.
Yeah, because the other thing is Avon, like he's like pointing out how you're not the only one who can use traps. I'm using traps against you, and also he makes a note of like, oh yeah, because he mentions that most of his traps are actually in the castle, and Avon's like, Yeah, I'll have to remember that. So it's clearly that he's going to set them off against bad guys instead. Because yeah, he likes to generally fight honourable, but if you start using trap magic against him, he'll use trap magic back on you. So
Yeah.
Your trap card is activated. My trap card.
because
Yeah.
he makes the point about how Hadlar, even though he did despicable things, it was always him. He'd come forward and fight him. He would backstab him or use tricks against him.
Like even when Hadlar had a bunch of chess piece dudes, it was always okay. Everybody pair up with your partner, beat the shit out of each other. It's like, why didn't all the chess dudes just like dogpile on one of them? It's like, no.
That's kind of how chess works, actually. Yeah, it's not being the spirit of the game, Hadlar. This is my game, and I say it's whatever spirit I want it to be.
Also, all throughout this, though, Hyunko's like, there's something up. What's up with
I
Alma?
feel conflicted.
Yes.
Because the last time I saw each other, I told you to fuck off. I'm going to kill you. Kill my father. But now I know the truth about that. I'm walking around. Also, dude, what's up with you? I'm getting a weird vibe off you. You're not the man you used to be.
Because Avon's like, I don't think of me as your master anymore. I'm just another guy who showed up to help you fight.
Because you guys are at the same power level of me. I'm just here to help out. I'm just another one of the gang, and they're kind of like, it's a bit weird though. And Avon, like when they kind of get so far away from that whole deal, like Avon's like, I was sneaking behind you using Avon's sneaky step this entire way. That's why you didn't detect my presence. Yonko, don't think too much about it.
Yes, but Hyunko's
man.
like, you're weak. You've become weak, old man. That's our cliffhanger is Avon being accused of being weak by her uncle.
Yeah. He's always, man, lost a bit of that old magic, or he's more so maybe he's here for a good time, not for a long time.
Yeah. Also, we need to learn out where he got all these feathers from, because that was not a thing he was doing when we saw him last.
He's dressed differently. He has magic feathers all of a sudden. He's not only acting very suspiciously, but acting in general very different from the guy we last saw him as. Yeah.
It is also funny though that I don't think Pop puts his own feet down on the ground for the entire episode. I think.
Oh, he's carried like the whole fucking time. Yeah.
Well, I just tried to do saying, oh man, we gotta run to the castle. Well, man, I'm so fucked up. I'm trying to get out of that trap before this man just slings him over the shoulder. Come on, little man, we got a dark king to defeat.
It's best when they're kind of like running and talking, and Pop's just sort of sitting comfortably on Man's shoulder. Just sort of like, there's something up with the master. I wonder what the deal is. Good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Avon is a funny character. He's suspicious, but he is funny, and it is
like personality-wise, and him being a dick and him refusing to tell you why he fucking isn't dead. It's like, yeah, that does seem like him. He's that kind of prick that would do that.
I kind of hope somebody, if they've not done it already, at some point, somebody should do a parody of this, but with Ace coming back to life in One Piece, claiming that an amulet had blocked that punch which went straight through his chest.
It doesn't even make sense when you think about it, because like it replays the scene. Avon jams his fingers up to the fucking knuckles in
in
his head, and then it's like, and now to explode my body because I'm out of magic power, I'm going to use my magical. I'm not going to use my magic. I'm going to use my life force to explode myself like a bomb. And it's like, but an amulet protected you from exploding like a bomb. But you did explode though. So how the fuck did that work?
Bring a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I believe the answer is the editors wanted the comic to go on longer.
Yeah.
But there you go. Another fun episode of Dragon Quest. And then finally for tonight, it is Spy Family Episode 3, Prepare for the Interview. In which...
this wasn't a lot of action, but it was a nice, calm delight, basically.
A family day out. We're going on an outing.
Outing.
Going on an outing, eh?
Great stuff.
And a lot of it is establishing just how much Yor loves things which symbolize death.
Blades. Yes, this art gallery. It's full of all the great masters here. How do you think Yor is? It's just like gazing longingly at people being guillotined in his portrait.
It's a nice contrast between the kid and you're basically like reacting in exactly the ways he doesn't want them to react, like weirdos. Where it's like, okay, all right, kid, I need you to stay quiet because this is an art gallery, and it's like it's all pretentious and shit. You got to stay quiet and enjoy the painting. It's just like, Dad, I can see her boobs. That lady has her boobs out. Like, that's true, but don't shout that in an art gallery.
Has a lot of fun in the kids' play area with the crayons, just trying out the entire story. But oh my God, they're not supposed to know that I know that they're a spy and an assassin. And oh, what are you drawing here? Is this that? No, that's a cat. Yep.
Yeah, it was just like you forgot you are a child and have a child's ability to draw, so you've revealed nothing with your detailed plan. Yeah.
It's nice to, yeah. But we're going, guys, we go where you're, consider it's like a nice place to go to. Well, now we go up here to like the top of the hill to get a great view in. It's like I like to, come up here sometimes, working on City Hall, and to see the people that I've helped. Oh no, a purse snatcher.
It was a nice reversal as well, because obviously Yor is kind of the butt of a bunch of jokes, but in this she realizes that himself is getting very stressed with his family not behaving properly. He's like, I'm going to take you to a place where I know that'll just calm you right out. And then crime. Obviously, they have to solve crime.
Yes, because obviously the irony is that he himself is not normal. He is just more. The reason he is abnormal is
he's a masked weirdo.
He's heavily trained to act normal. That's the weird thing about him. So there's a purse snatcher, and they go and help a little old lady. We've also learnt that when the girl's psychic powers are overloaded, she gets a psychic nosebleed.
Mm.
Yeah, and it kind of switches between where's the place? Is it they go to a place with like a lot of people, and that like
they go to like
it's a political demonstration.
It's like a political rally, yeah.
Yes, and there's too many people with various opinions on Eastopolis and Westopolis, or Ostonia and Westonia.
Lots of horrible shit getting thrown around, and like not things that a child should be hearing anyways. But these are all also as well, like whenever they're shouting out loud now, like just compared to what their inner thoughts are. And it's this nice little thing, like it's a touching little thing, which is like, no, I don't want to go here now, and she's just listening to this cacophony of fucking this filth and fucking like
basically she has Twitter in her head, and it's just causing her to feel very bad. But as soon as they move away from that, she's hungry again.
But she can't. That's like, oh, this is what I gotta deal with, but I can't say this because I'd be afraid that you would leave me then. It's just really hard shit for like.
Because he does think like maybe 2 or maybe 3 times during this is like, I picked the wrong kid at that orphanage, which is like a horrible thing to think in front of your psychic child. But he didn't say it. But he did go like, no, it's my fault. I shouldn't rely on outsiders. I can't rely on anyone but number one, me, to be the ultimate spy. But
but if you weren't a spy family, you wouldn't have caught that mugger.
Yes, and that's the point of the earlier scene with the psychics. Is to then it's when she uses her psychic powers to help track down the purse snatcher. Then it's like, oh, she's overcoming the problem she had earlier to help somebody out. Which is to establish.
And it's the combination of all 3 of them as well, because Yor is the only one. They see the purse snatching, and Lloyd is kind of like, oh, that's terrible. She's not really much I can do about that as a spy. I don't get involved in things. And Yor's like, I will take action and fight injustice and possibly murder him. But she can't find him.
Yeah, and they picks him out of the crowd. It was like no fun. Who's here? Like fun and saying, oh, nice, what am I having today? Oh, I'm late for work. Fun and saying, yep, another good purse snatching right here. Good thing I also put on this coat, and no one will tell me that I'm the same dude. And he's like, walks past chocolate. Daddy, I want chocolate. You want chocolate, do you? Fun and saying, that's the guy right there. Let's get him.
And he does have a very distinct walk. You do have to give that. It's just like you can't change your walk as quickly as you can change your clothes, and then jumping on that guy off a bridge, and it's like, this man's a purse snatcher, call the authorities. And it's like, it's a spy's job to not be the center of attention, and everyone just looking at this dude who fell out of the sky onto another guy. But the combination of them manages to
Yes.
make the world better.
It does.
Basically.
They're a better family than they think they are, is the thing. And then they start flirting with each other, as then the daughter points out. Mommy and Daddy are flirting. But the old lady is very impressed, and he's like, if we managed to fool that old lady that we're a great family, maybe it's not so
We're in with
bad.
a shot.
And Anya's getting better at the interview prep questions, where it's like, what do you do on your days off? We go to the opera and to art museums and eat at restaurants. Perfect. And what does Daddy do? He jumps on top of people from bridges and tells them he's going to make them eat bad food for the rest of their life. I don't know, not that one.
What you could say is that Daddy works with a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
There's also a thing with Lloyd when the old lady thanks him. We hear his thoughts of like, I shouldn't be thanked for these things, but it's quite nice for it to happen once in a while for somebody to say thank you.
I'm supposed to work in the shadows where nobody thanks me because I'm a spy, and it's like, it feels pretty good. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, good fun episode, and I like that we got like the people from the tailor shop and like a recurring character at this point.
Yeah. It makes it feel kind of more like a town where they know each other and know people and stuff. Oh, and also they've forged their marriage certificate, so it's a year prior to now because it would look super suspect. So are they actually married or are they forged married? I'm not 100%.
On paper, they're married.
I guess legally on paper they're married. Yeah.
Well, no, according to
like not under their real name, in case of Lloyd, but yeah.
Lloyd Faker. Yep. No. Guy Incognito. That's a perfect pseudonym there. No one will ever know it's me. But ending bit now here as well. Nice animation there too. We're putting like it was like Anya's think very dreamlike, very imaginative version of her life, and just gets put to bed with. I love that little chimera teddy she has.
Yeah, it is quite nice, Mr. Chimera.
And she's like, "Oh, it's Mr. Chimera." I'm like, "Oh, super cute." It's like, "Oh, that's very nice."
Mm-hmm. The ending and the opening have this similar kind of aesthetic where there's a style where it's like, we're a normal family, and then it breaks out to like a serious, cool style where it's just like, no, we're actually like a bunch of really cool superpower people. Which I do like that kind of symmetry.
It's got a few cues from the opening to, I suppose, close into a little bit to The Great Pretender.
Right, yeah.
Some similar like visual motifs going on in the two of those. So, never like let something like that go unused. It's pretty good.
And then finally, making a leap from technically we should have covered it next week's episode, but
I forgot about that.
While it's fresh in our minds, episode 1015 of One Piece: Straw Hat Luffy, the man who will become the Pirate King. An episode that some people are saying is the best episode of anime ever made.
I mean, like in terms of just gorgeousness, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it is lovely. There's such a lovely weight to the way the characters move in this. Also, I think there's many favorite bits in this. I think one of my favorites is Zoro's scream that you think, oh, that's Luffy being flung through the air. It's like, no way, it's Zoro.
Yes.
Because other than that, he will get lost if we don't fling him into the final battle.
And also, it's got stuff which isn't in the comic.
It expands on a lot.
Yeah, it's particularly with the stuff early on with Yamato, with Ace telling Yamato about how even the toughest pirate is even at the sea on the seas. Yeah, it's my little brother. Just waiting to get a load of him.
He's going to debut in a year, so watch out for that guy. He's going to be great. Myself and our other brother laughed at his dream. I shouldn't have told you that because people laugh at it, but we're not going to fucking laugh at him for that anymore.
Yeah.
And Yamato is not laughing because she has read the journal, the travel journal. What is it called? The Travels of Odin.
Odin's Chronicle, Odin's memoirs.
Yeah, where Gold Roger literally said that exact same thing, and there's a beautiful scene showing the kind of symmetry between a small child saying this to two other small children, and Gold Roger, a man who is also a massive child, saying it to two other children, which is Whitebeard and Odin.
Yeah.
But there's the way she takes it, like, oh my god, that's exactly what the fucking Pirate King said. Oh, I take him super seriously in that regard.
And
Yeah.
now I'm going to be Odin. And when Yamato hears that Ace has died, Yamato remembers being told about Luffy and was like, okay, hope is not lost.
That bit with the Weaver card is fantastically done.
Oh yeah, the bit with Ace riding off on his little jet canoe, or jet, I guess.
Like like a combination fire, jet ski, and windsail.
Windsurfing thing. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, yeah. Sorry, you're dead, Ace. You're not going to get animated that very often. And then we get back to the story, where Yamato's giving Momo the journal,
and it clearly like means a lot to her because she's bringing up this stuff. But Mom was like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "No, this is your father's. Me passing it along to you is right and just, and the strongest pirate is here right now, so shit's gonna be just fine."
Though I do, even having read the comic and then see this, I always expect Yamato to say, and I'm going to be your dad now. I always expect Yamato to say.
Yeah.
But Yamato, and then we get to the people on the roof as they all arrive one after another, with Luffy coming in last. And of course,
and they're kind of like they're all standing there, kind of waiting.
Kid and Killer that are there first, aren't they? Then Law shows up.
Yeah.
Then
Marco
flings Zoro onto the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luffy kicks the door open and comes through.
They're all kind of like waiting for this to go down, but the worst generation are kind of like, no, we got to wait for one more. We got another guy coming. And that makes Big Mom and Kaido the maddest because they're like, oh, fucking Linlin, let me tell you what this fucker said. Go on, you little shit. Say what the fuck you said to me in front of Linlin here. And she's like, oh, this little punk. He's full of shit. But Luffy is not paying any attention to them. He's walking right past them as they give him shit, where he's just like, hey, Kinemon, you guys still alive? Kinemon's like, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. But it's like, can you hold this country on your back or something like that?
And Luffy apologizes for showing up late, and then he tells Law to send them below. And he punches him in the face first, and then declares that he's going to be Pirate King.
Like he knocks Kaido over, and then says, "I'm going to be King of the Pirates." Yeah. Which is a better statement of it. Yeah.
All as the original theme tune plays.
Yeah.
That's dirty tricks. Dirty tricks right there.
And it is just gorgeously done. People who expect the show to look good every week is like, no, that's not going to fucking happen.
She did 2 episodes last year. There's been like 9 months or so between the last episode she did and this.
2 episodes a year is like fantastic work out of her, so I wouldn't expect more.
Treat it as the event that it is.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate it, savor it. Watch it again.
Yeah.
And also, like next week, next week's episode seems to be like, hey, remember all the bits Zoro and Sanji have done in this arc so far? Well, we're gonna fucking do a highlight reel.
I've not seen one of those clips yet, but it's the second one they've done, judging by the title, and the way they're doing them now, Niall, is that it is Bartolomeo is the one presenting the clip episodes as he relays the adventures of his heroes.
Dear Penthouse, today I met 2 of my biggest heroes.
Now, how he's finding out about what they've done on Wano is another question, but...
I mean, like, it's a good framing device, I gotta give it that.
He's the traitor. He's the source of the leak.
I mean, maybe he's going to find out about them in the movie. I think is he announced for the movie? I know most people seem to be in the movie.
Seems pretty likely.
Oh yeah, why couldn't he be?
I know there's the great picture of Beppo in his Idol fan gear.
Yes.
But yeah, when's that coming out? Is it the Dragon Ball first, then the One Piece?
That one didn't get affected. Well, it must have got affected a little bit by the hack, right?
I don't know if it added
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it got pushed back or anything though.
Yeah,
Like
initial release
Dragon Ball got hit
August.
the worst.
Yeah, August the 6th.
Okay.
So I guess it will show up here this year at some point. They tend to not leave it too long before the Toei films come out over here. Righty ho, that was it. Yeah, I highly recommend if you're like us and don't regularly watch One Piece, it's always worth checking in a Megumi Ishitani directed episode. And I don't know why I'd never realised she did the last episode of Dragon Ball Super. As I said on Twitter, I guess somehow I assumed it was found footage because as much as I enjoyed that episode, for some reason I never thought, who made that episode? Which does make me think that I just thought it was real.
Well, this is how they actually beat Jiren. Yeah.
A real thing that really happened. Man, it's still fun to watch those live reactions that people when it's like the massive outdoor crowds watching that last episode of Dragon Ball Super.
People losing their fucking shit.
Yes.
Understandably.
Oh, and also it's the massive crowd laughing at Vegeta who's funny. It's great. It's
just like... that's the clincher of that. That's the one thing I take away. It's just like that shot is fun. It's just like I was going, the crunch going. My God, it's like Goku and Frieza, and they're working together. It's a perfect team. And Vegeta is just like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
But he's still in that. He still cheers them at the end in that one shot, which is that is cheering fans meme shot that somehow is in that episode.
He can let loose when he really wants to. I've seen him eating an ice cream and enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the
tiny
Vegeta taller than his wife thing that they've done, but I am a big fan of make Vegeta a fucking comedy character. That's fantastic. I'm all about that.
That's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more of the same. Goodbye for now.
See ya.
Back to OBS and hit this button.